Surprise! Democrats and Republicans in the Senate agreed unanimously on a bill to eliminate taxes on tips. Now, pump the brakes here. First of all, this Senate version is definitely different than the House version of no tax on tips. The House version is currently wrapped up in the big, beautiful bill that's working its way through the House as we speak. Second, we do not know which version of no tax on tips is actually going to become the law. There is no time frame for if or when the House Speaker will put the Senate version of the bill on the House floor for a vote. There's also a possibility that once the big, beautiful bill passes out of the House and goes to the Senate may swap out the House version of no tax on tips for their own version that they just passed unanimously. It's also possible that since the Senate version has bipartisan support, the House Speaker could strip out the House version of no tax on tips from the big, beautiful bill and have the House vote separately on no tax on tips. All kinds of wild things could happen. But let's real quick talk about what happened in the Senate today. Also wild. This version of no tax on tips was co-sponsored by Senator Ted Cruz, a Republican from Texas, and Senator Jackie Rosen, a Democrat from Nevada. And to everyone's surprise this afternoon, it was Senator Rosen who brought this bill up for unanimous consent. And no one objected, so the bill just passed, just like that.
I further ask that the bill be considered read a third time and passed, and that the motion to reconsider be made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Is there objection? Without objection.
I'm proud of what the Senate just did, and I commend Democrats and Republicans, even in a time of partisan division, coming together and agreeing on this common sense policy. I think that's terrific for workers in all 50 states.
And since it passed so quickly, I'll just quickly tell you what's included in it. The House version and the Senate version are the same in that both bills require you to report your tips on your tax return. But here's where it's different. The Senate version caps the amount of qualified tips you can deduct on your taxes at $25,000. Highly compensated employees, just like the House version, are not eligible to deduct their tips. A highly compensated employee is defined as an employee that either owns 5% of the company or is paid more than $160,000 in tax year 2025. A qualified tip is defined as any cash tip received by an individual in the course of that individual's employment in an occupation that traditionally and customarily receives tips. You cannot be a school teacher and try and deduct your tips. This bill directs, in case there's any question, the Treasury Secretary to create a list of occupations that would traditionally and customarily receive tips within 90 days of this bill passing, just to make sure there is no question about who would qualify. Now, if the Senate version of the bill is approved by both the House and, of course, the Senate, this no tax on tips provision would be available for tax year 2025. I will keep you posted on which version actually becomes the law.